You know we got
Captain
issues.
Lorraine.
We got issues. I do not look. I'm acting like my mother, but I don't look like.
We are live. And I
Let's
am
have
so
some
excited
fun.
to be live. You know, welcome. There's already somebody on here. Do us a huge, huge favor, you guys, wherever you're watching, because I'm streaming this in 3 different locations. Please put in the chat where you're joining us from. And today, I have the pleasure. I mean, you guys see me all the time on camera. You see me all the time, doing my lives for Wife Chat, and we do evening tea. And I'm sure you've seen this beautiful young lady that I'm getting ready to introduce on my evening tea. But I don't do all of this by myself. And so today I wanted to introduce the brilliant people that are behind me. And y'all know I get on here and I'm 100% honest. And I always say that God has placed people in my life that are smarter than me, that can take me higher. And I have the pleasure of having one of these people. Not only is she my friend, but she's my sister friend. Sean LaSure. And we wanted to get on here and kind of introduce, because I've been talking to you guys about my television show that is coming this fall. I'm so excited, you guys. I am like excited. It's so many of you guys already on here. Please put in the chat where you're joining me from. I love to give you guys shout outs because I don't take you guys for granted. So please put in the chat where you're joining us from and we'll give you a shout out. But I have the pleasure of introducing. She is a producer on the television show. She's also the casting director for Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage. And she also is the marketing director for the show as well. So I wanted to bring, like I said, the people who are behind the scenes, but are really the ones who are pushing this. I'm just get on there and do what I do and do what I love to do. But I have to have brilliant people watching, pushing me and making sure that I show up and do what I do best. And so, Sean, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Joyce, thank you. We got somebody from South Africa. She said, finally, the TV show has started. Actually, this is not the TV show. The TV show is going to be on major networks, but we are going to be talking about that. Corey, thank you so much for joining us from Milwaukee. All of these people are tuning in so far from our YouTube channel. I have some other people on Facebook who is watching. You guys, thank you so much. Put it in the chat where you're joining me from. I would love to give you a shout out. So we got South Africa in the house, Sean. Like anyway,
Listen, that
so
that is it's so amazing. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Gail, for the opportunity to work on such amazing work with such an incredible team. You were being very humble. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out loud. You being very humble. We are blessed. We absolutely enjoy the work that we do, and we have an incredible team. So y'all, when y'all see what Gail does here, we going all the way to a whole nother level. And so that's what I'm just so excited about. I'm excited about the years in which you have planted. I consider this like a bamboo tree. The years you have worked and planted. I mean, TikTok. We didn't even know what TikTok was, y'all.
I,
Okay,
I
like I mean, didn't TikTok just come to the U.S. like a few years ago?
yep.
Again, I'm a social media person, but I'm gonna be real today. I'm not memorizing any stats. Okay, it's Saturday, but anyway, to be able to build on that platform in such a short period of time, build on YouTube, and then have these incredible people coming in. Hey, y'all, thanks so much. You guys are the reason why we do what we do to help Gail to serve you guys, and so I'm thrilled. Let's get into it. Y'all got some questions? Y'all want to talk about the TV show? You want to talk about um, what it is that we're doing behind the scenes? I can't give all the tea, Gail. I can't give all the tea. But
No, but like I said, Sean has been on this journey with me. Well, I'm only 20, so I was like, we was like 5 when we met. Now I'm just playing. I'm
yeah,
55,
maybe
and I
six,
and I own
six,
that.
maybe.
But what I'm saying is, she's been on this journey a long time, and she actually helped build my brand to where it is today. And it was just an honor to be able to say, Sean, this is the next level. This is an opportunity. Will you go on this journey with me? And so we're on here to really talk about casting and really what my desire is to eradicate divorce. My sweet spot is to get people in in a marriage that is having and enjoying amazing intimacy and amazing sex, right? And the thing is that that's very hard, when people are struggling in those areas. And I wanted to bring it, my sexless marriage video has gotten, I want to say, almost a 500,000 or beyond that hits. And anytime, I have couples come to me from around the world, and that is a blessing. And I don't take that lightly. And if you guys follow me, you know that my husband sold that into my life years ago before I even got into this space, because I was out of control. And, I'm open and honest, and I own my stuff.
Come
And
on
so
now.
that's the
Ain't
reason
nobody gonna
why.
find something on the internet about you that you ain't said about you.
There you
That's
go.
what you're saying.
And so for me, I know what it is to be in a sexless marriage that I created, because I was using my vagina as a weapon to get what I wanted. But I also know what it is to roll up my sleeves and to fix it, right? And so my passion is for marriage, traditional marriage. That's my passion, right? My passion is to see people win, because I understand what it is to be in a household. And only thing you talk about is the major stuff. What we gonna eat, is the bills paid, and we rinse and repeat. And then we also go to church, right? Every Sunday, lift our hands, get in the car, and don't say nothing all the way home. I know what that
let me
looks
let
like.
me just tell you something. What you just basically did, like 3-4 episodes. I mean, for real. I mean, basically, what I love about Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage, a couple of things that I want to stress to people who are thinking about being a part of the show. One, your goal and passion is bar none the standard. We're not looking for ratchetry. We're not looking for anybody who's trying to get clout. I mean, of course, it happens when you're on a reality show. So, first of all, I want to say this is a reality show. We are looking for real couples with real issues, that some of which Gail knows extremely well, others in which she's studied and worked with thousands of couples from around the world. And so, whether you are dealing with a sexless marriage, maybe you're dealing with a blended family,
Yep.
communication issues. Gail's taught on life after infidelity. You guys, it's so much that I feel like we try to do at the barbershop or the hair salon. You know what I'm talking about, Gail? Like we talking to people, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with your pastors, but they're human too. And
Mhm.
what I also love
And
is
I've had the pleasure to speak and talk to a lot of them as well. And I don't put them out there because I understand the title and the pressure that they hold. But whenever I work with people in that space, and I've worked with a lot of famous people as well, but I don't allow them to hide behind their titles. So I call them by their first name. They call me by my first name, because you're talking to human beings, not titles.
And you know, and here's the thing that's so important. Again, I'm not spilling everything about the show, but here's the thing: where do pastors go? Where do celebrities go?
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that being a celebrity, being famous, or being out there doesn't have challenges. I'm actually saying that they have some of the same ones we all have, but they don't have anywhere to go. They don't feel comfortable. They feel judged if they go to a therapist, or if they go this. It's there are a lot of nuances, and so what I also love about what's coming with Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage is that she is going to be walking couples through. She's going to be giving homework, giving assignments. They got to come and report, y'all. This is, and I'm not going to say everything is solvable, if you will, right? Like we're not going to make this cookie cutter, because there may be a couple out there. We just like, listen, like I said, maybe it's a level of abuse, or better yet, maybe they just don't want to work it out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want people to know that this is going to be a
Real.
real show with real people and real issues. I believe, not just because I'm on the team, but because I know that sometimes you look at relationship shows and you don't get the whole story. You don't get the whole, you right. They just kind of pop in and, like you said, almost like actors. That's not what we want to create on this particular TV show. We want people who are willing to say, look, I've tried. Maybe my journey, my drama, my trauma can help somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm a product of a blended family.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, there's just so many different levels, you guys, to people who are married again, whether it's adult children, whether it's ex spouses. Come on, y'all. It's a lot out here in this world that needs somebody who know what they're talking about. Need an actual expert, and that's what Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage is all about.
Corey said, what drove me here is the fact that I'm dealing with a sexless marriage. We love each other. We go to church together, serve the Lord in the church together, but it does take a toll on me. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. I
You
appreciate you.
and you know what,
Yeah.
Corey? We hope right now we are casting in the DMV. That's Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. If you are within an hour of the Baltimore, DC area, I think it's worth it. If you're willing to share this journey, how you got there, what got you there. And so much has changed. So I just, yeah, I want to say, even though your platform, your brand was built on being the one sexy wife, men like Corey
Mm-hmm.
have changed really the
Again.
trajectory of
Yeah.
what we're doing here at Gail Crowder Inc.
Yeah.
Because we realize that men are talking to men in cases, but they're not talking to men who may have been healed, who may have answers. They're kind of sharing their own brokenness, or they're not helping. You know, forget that they're not necessarily have the stance that, listen, we want you to work it out. You can do this. And so I believe that Gail is talking not just to women, but
No,
also
my stats
talking
say
to
that
men.
I'm not.
I mean, right, and a lot of me, and people need to know that. I think a lot of reality shows, especially the ones, you know, they got the women taking over, bossing around, showing out. Again, ladies, no judgment, just saying that's what we're seeing on TV. And I believe that your show, Gail, is gonna definitely be different.
It is. It is because I realized that snapping and crazy was me, right? And I was downright disrespectful, and I can
Look at
admit
that.
that. Downright disrespectful because my story is I came from a long line of boss ladies, right? You don't need no man. Have your own house, your own car, your own, and that literally killed my marriage. I said I wanted to be married. I said I wanted a godly man that could lead my hair. Even though we was young, I said all of those things. But every time he was trying to lead, if he said go left, I was definitely going right because you ain't gonna boss me around, right? And that has ruined the
Oh God,
family.
it's ruined for generations.
Yeah.
It's ruined the family for generations. So the other thing that what I love about what you said is that you had the chance, took the opportunity, you and your husband worked together to build it. Now 37, 38. How many years now, strong?
36 as of last Thursday.
36. Okay. So what we also are hoping, Gail, is for those who are at the brink of, I can't do this. Maybe
Yeah.
they've already talked to a therapist. Maybe they've already gone to the doctor. Maybe they've gone to the divorce lawyer.
Gil
Please.
and I've been there twice.
That's what consider.
I'm not talking about just talking about it. We was
Right. Sitting there talking about
Mhm.
and consider giving Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage a try. If you are that couple, if you're that person, if you are willing to say, look, I don't want to go through this. I'm gonna tell you right, I'm not, we're not starting over. Let's work this out. And you're willing to share, because I promise you, and that's for anybody who's listening, Gail, I promise you that your story is not as unique as you think. I actually
Oh,
think that
no.
sometimes the enemy comes at us. Yes, I'm gonna talk some God. This is Gail's channel, so I can do what I'm gonna do. I think that there is an adversary. There is a counter culture attacking marriage, and we talk about that. You don't have to be Christian to be on the show. You don't have to have a faith to be part of the show. Just know that we're going to talk to you. I believe that that's the root and the source of some of your pain. I mean, how else to get over trauma, like you said, childhood trauma? I mean, my gosh, so many things that are now showing up in your marriage that you need professional intervention, spiritual intervention, physical intervention, right? All of these things, and that's what we're looking at. The show is going to follow the couples through a series of homework exercises, and it's also going to match them and pair them with experts, men and women, who Gail has personally chosen to help them work with their specific issues. I also think that's also important to share, that there are some things that are, can we say, Gail, easily fixed. and
Absolutely.
and
But
there are
there are
some
some
things.
things it's just like gaining or losing weight. It takes time, and even after you start working with me, you're still going to have to put in the work. Marriage is a job that you never leave.
Mm,
It
that's,
it, it
yeah,
is a
I get
job
that
you
on a
never
t-shirt.
leave
That's a t-shirt.
because you said for the rest of my life,
Mm. Till death
do
do
us
us
part,
part.
right? So it's easy to say the vows when you spend all that money, big rings, beautiful dress, he all dressed up, you going, but see, the work is not in that. So I tell people, if you want to place your money somewhere, don't place it in rings because a ring does not make you married, right? I get
Mm.
hollered at more with my wedding ring on than when I don't, and I'm being
Lord have
100% honest.
mercy.
So that does, so it's work.
It's
And see, people have invested more in rings and the wedding than they will invest in getting therapy or the help that they need. Because they just say, okay, I'm going. I don't have that kind of money. I have people that tell me I don't have that money, but you go on vacation and then you call me on vacation because you don't want to fix. Yeah, okay, that's
Okay,
something else.
listen, you will see behind the scenes on what it takes to take a stance to eradicate divorce, to stand for traditional marriage, and to make people work at their marriage. And that's why, again, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to people casting. We've even decided. I think I can kind of spill this out. How many of you even are consider or would consider? We can ask, not since we got a live audience, would consider being on the show if you were in the area. Let's, just post it in the chat. We are
Hi,
looking
Heather. How are you?
we
Thank
are
you for
looking to
joining us.
add, hey, how you doing? We are looking to add a virtual component. That's
Yeah.
also a possibility. I mean,
Mhm.
there are just so many things. We have an incredible team. I'm not going to tell their part, okay? Gail is going to be introducing our director, our executive producer, our social media team, our writer, designer. I mean, many of us have different backgrounds and skills, but more importantly, we're coming with the same mindset to see this show come to fruition. Get y'all to share your
I'm
comments
just so
live.
excited. You know how you, yeah, you know how you just like they keep saying, Gail. I'm telling you, it's not that I'm not a believer because I believe that the Holy Spirit is in this. That's just Gail, but it's just like this is really happening, and
Mhm.
it's happening to me.
It's a trend. You guys, if y'all see, I posted in the chat. There is a trending audio now. Remember, I'm the marketing person, and it says, "Do you ever stop and think that right now you are living a dream that you had 10 years ago?"
Let me just tell you
It
guys,
just gives me
Heather, we love you
chills.
back. Y'all don't understand. I was in the fashion industry doing it at a high level, like high level. I was the ghost on a lot of them red carpets. No, and I'm being honest, I'm not
Right.
being braggadocious. I was good in the fashion industry, loved it. When I say loved it, but when Mr. Crowder spoke and said, if you ever go live and tell the truth about how you behave and how people really be acting in their marriages and how you, he said, if you ever just do that, because you be on there talk about how you be behaving, you would touch the world. That's what he said to me. And to see somebody from South Africa, y'all, I had a man post on
Ukraine.
one of my videos all the way from Ukraine in the war. That's mind blowing to me. People from Australia get on here, people from Japan, Philippines. I'm like, little old Gail from San Antonio, Texas, with a big mouth, bad attitude, crazy, put us in
Mm.
financial debt, gonna have our own TV show and have people who have had their own television show, had their own produce films around the world. Like they they want to pour into me. That's mind blowing. I'm just being honest.
Listen, you know what? I think the other part that I want to share with your audience, Gail, is your transparency and also your transformation, your willingness. What I love about the goal of this show is that we want couples, we want people who are willing to believe that transformation is possible. I think a lot of times we go on there, no, I just want to get up here, like you said, I want to go off and act crazy. And if you are willing and you're open to transformation, Gail is showing you, teaching you, coaching you on how transformation takes place from both sides of the coin. I think a lot of times many of these shows are one sided. Like I said, they side for the women because the women are the ones watching the show. And at the same time, don't realize that men are human, they are
Yep.
real, they have real experiences, they make real mistakes. I mean, I'm sometimes blown away, you know, at some now in the recent development and growth of your brand. How many men say, listen, I'm
Yep.
a mess, I need help? And
Mm-hmm.
how many men you've put in their place and they have made changes.
Changes.
I want really people to understand that we believe that when you're willing, you will make change. When you're tired of whatever the situation of your marriage is, you will make the changes. So the casting is very much like who Gail is. Real couples willing to change, willing to be vulnerable, transparent, and still we're gonna keep it classy. Okay, we're gonna keep it beneficial for the viewer
Mm-hmm.
because, like we said, we believe that there are 8 to 10 couples. That's our target, y'all. That are going to transform how we view marriage and the work of marriage. Yeah, like you said, the work of marriage.
It's
So it
work.
doesn't matter if you've been married 2 months or 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. Some people right now, Gail, they forgot what it was to be even in love. Like you said, they forgot to be intimate. They forgot that they're friends. You know, you've been
It took me 7 years to realize that I was married to my best friend.
mm,
7 years.
yes, yeah. I listen. We're gonna talk about it. I did not believe that best friend was necessary.
Mm.
So I was married over 20 something years, and most of the person I didn't even like.
Wow.
So I think we have to be real because again, we get married young. We
Yeah.
don't know. We think, and our parents, in my previous marriage, Gail, our parents are married and were married to death. So we did not have your story in terms of different people telling me no. But at the same time, they didn't know necessarily what it took, right? Or they just knew you just stayed married. They weren't open to sharing their stories, their
and
sad.
and and you and see, I didn't see the healthiness of it. I had my aunt who married till death do them part. Unfortunately, my uncle passed before, but my mama, my grandmother, and then but what my wake up call was, besides my husband telling me, if you get on, tell people how you really are, right? um is when they said to me, don't end up like us. That was the transformation.
Let's just take that in for real for your viewers because I know we only have a few more minutes. We said we were going to
Mhm.
do 30 minutes. If you are interested, go to
Hi,
Dr.
Barbara. How are you?
Hey, any other question? If you're interested in learning more, maybe share with a friend. Let's say you're in California, but your cousin lives in the DMV. Send it to your cousin. Let's spread the word. We are planning on having some live. casting opportunities. But right now, you can fill out a simple application, and someone from our team will get back to you within 48 hours and see if you're interested. It's a short video audition right now, and you can say, "Hey, I'm willing to come to the area and do the work, whatever that looks like." So we definitely want to hear from you. But I want to really take in what you said, Gail, as we wrap up. How many of us are taking advice from people we don't want to switch places with? I mean, just
There's a lot of people in this space that, for one, are not qualified. For two, they think it make marriage look like everything is everything, and it bothers me that people are following them and getting advice, and you're not judging the tree by its fruit. Like, how can you tell me about my marriage? And I'm not saying that divorced people or people who have never been married don't have something to add to relationships, but my thing is that you need to be following people that bear fruit and not just saying stuff because it sounds good and it looks good on social media, right? Like I
and did,
said,
and did
go ahead.
they learn? I am divorced. I learned a lot.
But you learned and
I
you
learned
listened to, and you came back and you doing it a whole different
a
way.
whole different
You're
way.
in a you like
I,
your husband.
I like my husband. I am best friends with my husband. And I didn't know. And so I think a lot of the decisions that people have made, everybody, are based on ignorance, or you just didn't know. You did not see. You did not, it wasn't required. I am so protective of my marriage. I
Yep.
honor my husband. You know, a lot of times we out here in these streets, yes, wives out here in these streets tearing up their husbands because they talking to their knucklehead girlfriends. And whether she's a wife or not, if she's not standing for marriage, you don't need to be talking to her. And so there's so many.
Exactly. And see, like I said, the people that I have around me that pour into me, they're not caught up in this social media thing. When I was like, he ain't making me happy. Remember that? He ain't making me happy. I laid back in Kim Butler's chair, and she told me, "You can cry right now. I'm gonna do your hair, but you're gonna go back. You're gonna apologize for your behavior, because she's been married 5 years longer than I was at that time, and you gonna go to work like you go to work and dress all of them people and do all that stuff. You gonna go to work for the covenant you said, not nobody drug you. You said it. That's the kind of fruit people I hang out with."
Mm, and that is so real. I don't know if we have any other questions. I just
Well,
want to
yeah,
again say
this is
thank
good
you.
stuff. Jokester 34. Hi, how are you? Your videos have helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Wow, Barbara, I've done that and it was a mess. I stopped. Thank you, Barbara. Like, we have so many great comments going, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to read them all because it's just been Aubrey's world. I'm married to my best friend, but are living in a sexless marriage for 8 years. Okay, but you can turn that around. I want you to know you can turn that around. Um, if it's not a medical condition, but even if it's a medical condition, I just want to pour this into you really quickly. That's the reason why I became a sexologist, because most people think that penetration sex is the best sex. It's not always the best sex. You can turn that around. And I don't know if it's a medical condition, but this is the Holy Spirit speaking. So you can turn that around, and it's not all about penetration sex. You can be so intimate with your spouse and never have penetration sex that you will feel loved, you will feel connected beyond just sex. Because remember this, and I'm going to say this: prostitutes have sex all the time, penetration sex all the time, and they ain't connected to nobody. Okay, that's the end of that.
Listen, this is the reason why
Mhm.
people follow you. If you are interested in learning anything more about the Dr. Gail TV show, again, debuting this fall, be sure to go to drgailtvshow.com. Even if you're not interested in casting, but just want to follow, you'll have an opportunity to follow the show, get on our email list, and share your questions. Because as we go more into, get closer to the show, and get closer to some of the behind the scenes. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, we got all kind of stuff coming for y'all. But right now, we want to let you all know what the show is about, why the show is important, who's behind the scenes making all of these things turn the wheel while Gail is in front of the camera. Incredible writers. Oh my gosh, we got some writers. Yes, reality TV show needs some writers. Okay, because we have to prompt you. We have to encourage you. And we
I ain't
also
listening to no. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
have
Well, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. Like I told you, I got all these smart people. Y'all know I just be doing whatever. Barbara, thank you so much. She said wife chat and my live BSB conferences have been awesome in your marriage. I appreciate you so much for supporting my wife chats and bringing sexy back to the marriage, which will, I'll be talking about that. It's coming in January, like always. But going back to the show, please visit and it's up on the thing, Dr. Gail TV show.com. You can register to be a part of that. Like she said, we're looking for people in this area that want to do the live cast, the live taping, but there will be eventually, and my team is working on that, a component for people who live outside this area that I, can because I've done this for people around the world, also be a part of the show virtually as well. But right now
this
we
is
are
gonna be
looking.
unique, y'all. We're gonna be bringing in. We got the live people that we're tracking and the virtual. So please get
And y'all
on
gonna get
it.
to work with some of my sexperts, which are they bad, baby. They're real bad. And Aubrey's world. I'm working on myself. You work on yourself because you're right. It starts with you. And I'm sorry to hear that your husband fell 30 feet. I am just blessed that he is alive, and I speak
Amen.
healing over you and his life. Okay. So, because God can do absolutely anything. Okay. I just want you to
Absolutely,
know that. All
absolutely.
right.
So
So, Sean, thank you so much for saying
again,
yes
it was a
to this
pleasure.
vision. Thank you so much for just being you and keeping me on track and producing and casting. She got a lot of hats, honey, and I wears her out.
And it's the work, y'all. It's the work. It's the work. It's the work. I believe. I know. And the thing is, you guys, for real, Gail, like you talked about it. All of the I don't want to say influencers because I do believe that everyone has influence. We all are influencing, but those who you follow with large followings, you guys, you got to think about this is work.
It
It's
is.
work, and there are teams, there are people who are booking appointments and answering phones and helping getting them dressed, and you're going to meet the people who edit the videos and put the cool captions on there and all of that stuff, because it's important that you all know that not only is Gail supported, that your message, what it is that you want, how we serve is also important and supported, right? Because
Yeah.
we hear you. I mean, this sexless marriage is it's a thing because you guys tell us what you want to see more of, and it's our job as producers to help make it happen and to help support you guys because Gail cares about y'all and your marriages, and that's why we're excited.
We are. So do us a favor, go visit and please uh be legit. Please know that I'm wanting to really help you with real situations. So if you want your 2 seconds of fame, this ain't for you. And just know that operate with the Holy Ghost. And if that you show up and you get selected to be on my show and you think you're gonna do what you're gonna do, it's gonna be cut off because I don't have that kind of time. I don't. And I'm just being 100% honest. And I have had people to sign up and to work with me, and they get on there and think that they going to teach me when they need my services. I return their money and keep it. I don't have that kind of time. I don't, because I don't play with this. I don't. So just know that we're looking for legitimate people who really want help, real help, because I'm going to give you real help, real
And are
solutions,
willing to do the work.
and willing to do the work. And I just know this, I'm not going to take on anything, and I don't do this in my practice, and I'm not going to do it for television, that I have not conquered in my own marriage. Yes, do I have clinical? Yes, do I have all of those things? But if I haven't conquered it in my own marriage, because I believe I am the best teacher, because I bear fruit, right? I want to see you win. So I only take on stuff that I have conquered and I have a track record of winning. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's what's up. All right. Well, I'm
Okay.
excited. Thanks
All right.
everybody for
Bye bye,
joining.
you
Thanks
guys.
Gail for having me. All
All
right. See
right.
you guys soon.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye bye.